and welcome to this Facebook Live. And I am joined today with Josie Truelove. Good morning, Josie.
Hello.
And I have asked Josie to come on this morning to talk about staying in the present moment and some of the things that she does to help herself stay in the present moment, because I'm well aware that right now, there's a lot of news flying around. There's a lot of thoughts about the future with the situation with the coronavirus. What's this going to mean, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 months, 5 months down the line? And there's an opportunity in that jumping forwards to the future to leave the present moment and then start to feel and connect into the emotions of that future thinking. So I thought I would bring Josie on. She's a fellow calmologist and Calm Academy trainer like myself, to share some of her top tips and some of the things that she does with you all and just have a little conversation about it. So Josie, would you like to introduce yourself?
So, hello everybody. So my name's Josie Truelove, and I'm a complementary therapist and also a meditation teacher and also a calm coach. So I help people find calm in their life and help them along their personal journey to their freedom. So yes, I started off, just to introduce myself a little bit, my background. I lived on a farm, I loved nature, I came from that background. And then just on a whim, I wasn't allowed a horse. And on a whim, I saw an advert for a horse in France. So I was like, I'm going to France, I can have a horse. So off I went to France and stayed there for 8 years. And coming back on a whim, and I just thought, I came back to England, I was like, oh, I've got no job. So I waitressed for a bit, and then I just joined the airline, got straight on the airline and did cabin crew. And then I was like, oh, I want to go venting with my horse, and I can't vent while I'm doing cabin crew. So, the police force, I get really good sick pay if I fall off my horse and get injured. So I joined the police for quite a few years. No idea why, but anyway, I had a great experience in the police. Really helped me understand people and where they come from all parts of the world and their traumas, and helping people. And then during this period, I really wanted to help people through complementary therapies. So actually the police, with its good pay, helped me to fund myself to practice complementary therapies. So I started off with Reiki, and I did energy field healing, and I've done massage and reflexology. And then during this period, I obviously was exploring meditation. And it was in 2014, I think. I just went on a workshop. I happened to be traveling a lot and things like that at the time, and I came back to Birmingham. Someone said, you must go and see this Sandy Newbegin. He's doing a workshop on mind calm. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went, dragged my husband along, and off we went to this after this mind calm meditation workshop with Sandy Newbegin. And as soon as he started speaking, I was like, this is it. This is a simplicity that I actually love. Just got it straight away. And I thought, this is what I want to teach. I'd been a student of something called the Course in Miracles for years. Absolutely love the Course in Miracles. It is the foundation of where where I come from. But Mind Calm just brought this all together for me. It just gave me the experience I was searching for. So thank you, Sandy, for all your teachings. So I consequently went on to train with Sandy in his Mind Calm, his Mind Detox, Body Calm, Calm Cure, and then it came as a whole as a calmologist. And then because I'm so passionate about Sandy's work, and the passion I have with it is the simplicity. Life doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be woo-woo, and it doesn't need to be complicated. And Sandy has a really, really great way of simplifying everything. So I became his trainer of his academy. So now I'm helping everybody through the academy learning calmology and Mind Calm.
And we met, I don't know the first time we remember meeting me, but certainly online. I remember it was some kind of supervision session. I just remember you were a very with it redhead on the call that was already doing mind detox. I remember you talking about massage, you had massage clients, and I was just really impressed. I was really struck with, a fellow graduate of Sandy's courses that was actually getting out there and doing the work. But actually we have a shared passion of horses in common as well, don't we?
We do.
Which I think makes us a little bit perhaps more forthright and more no nonsense. So I really wanted to talk about the present moment today and how it affects people mentally when we leave the present moment. So one of the things that, there's quite a common saying out there, isn't it? If you're depressed, you're in the past. and if you're anxious, you're in the future. But can we just unpack that a little bit and talk about that a little bit more? What's your understanding of all that?
So my understanding is anxiety, and I do understand anxiety. I've never suffered with anxiety myself until I started hitting the perimenopause. So yes, I am that old, I really am. and a lot of ladies in my age can say that they've never really worried about things. Everything just happened in my life. And then as soon as I was sort of coming over 45 years old, I started to get these anxiety bouts. And I just really, I do understand this is just a hormonal thing in me. And because I practice mind calm, I practice my meditation techniques, I see my thoughts now. I no longer have to be my thoughts and my thinking. I'm just like, oh, there it goes again, that what if coming in. What if this happens and what if that happens? But I really now can understand and be compassionate for people who do suffer with anxiety, because I can see how it can control your life. And also I say, you know, when I started this work, I don't actually have any physical ailments as such. I haven't suffered health issues or problems, but I realized what I did have was confidence issues. So on my first time when I went like on Sunday's course, he said, oh, can you just stand up the front of the class and tell the class about yourself? And I was like, oh my God, I go bright red, you know, and I can't speak. And little did I know when I started my Mind Calm journey that I was wanting to do one-to-one with clients. That's what I do, the complementary therapies. I'm very comfortable one-to-one. But little did I know, you know, 2 years later, I'd be standing at a festival talking on a microphone to like 100 people. If they'd have told me that on my day, I would have run a mile. And that is anxiety, because I actually, yes, it makes me feel very anxious to do that sort of thing. And that's why if somebody told me that up front, I would have gone, I'll never do that. But I've learned to see my thoughts. I call them the what if bird flying through. What if this happens? What if that happens? Oh my God, and this could happen. And I actually start to see that now. And I'm like, oh, go away. Actually, bring it on, because I don't need to listen to that voice in my head. And that voice in my head is still there. It's always telling me I'm useless and, oh, you can't do that. And then they just think you're useless. You know, it's always chatting away, but actually it's not there now. I don't listen to it. And I just go and do what I want in life. It's given me so much freedom. So sorry, I came off. So what I have really seen with working my personal anxiety is I have a choice. I see the bird. I know the techniques now. When I'm worried about something, I just say, it just is. It stops me judging it. It just is. I don't have to worry about it and just do it anyway. And I've learned that through the techniques that I've learned, and learning to see my thoughts, realizing they're just temporary. That's not who I am. That's just my thinking. And I don't need to think that way anymore. I can choose peace instead of that. That's my favorite lesson from the Course in Miracles. I can choose peace instead of this. And that is so empowering when you realize you're like, oh my God, can I do this? The anxiety side of things, I can choose peace instead of this.
And I didn't even know I was in the future. Honestly, until I did the calmologist training, I didn't even realize that I spent a large majority of my life in the future trying to stop something happening before it happens. And I am one of these people, I would describe it as a very capable third eye that's able to sort of see the logical patterns of things and say, yeah, it's very, very likely that this outcome is going to happen from this current set of circumstances. It's really obvious that is going to be, for me, that's going to be the future outcome of this. And I really want to get a t-shirt that says on it, I told you so, because for so many years now I've noticed that that's just one of my abilities. But what it also meant was I was spending a lot of time in the future, not in the here and now. And now it's got to the point where if I'm in the future, if I'm thinking about something that's not happening yet, I feel it in my body.
Yeah,
I'm very kinesthetic, and I just feel like just off center, and that's my cue to come back. That's my cue to come back to the present moment, because when I come back to the present moment, that just dissolves, and there's just this peace and this calm. Now, there's one thing I really wanted to talk to people about today, was that, and you've said it a little bit already, is that you can be in the present moment and still things can still be really intense. We're not saying that if you live in the present, there's not, you don't feel excitement or it's a very flat experience. You can be in the middle of utter chaos, and your world can be imploding around you, as it is for so many people right now, but still have a connection to the present moment, and therefore still have an underlying fundamental experience of peace, as well as being aware of the chaos. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, and for me, it's about knowing your truth. It's about knowing, and we can only know our truth. I can teach as much as I like about meditation, about present moment awareness, but it's actually for you to go away and play with it and experience it for yourself. I can only give you the tools. It's up to you whether you pick them up and use them and how you use them. And I've been practicing meditation for 20 years now. I'm a complementary therapist. I teach workshops. People think I've got this. and I so haven't. I realize on a daily basis that how much, I'm going to do this present moment. I'm coming on today to do this talk with Becky live on present moment living. So I get up and my mind's like, I've got to do this. I've got to actually wash my hair. And it was working and seeing the fact that I was constantly being dragged to the future. Oh, wow, you better do a whole hour's meditation. No, I think today, to get myself present, I'm better off being active and going for a run. Yeah, but you've got to do 3.5 miles. No, I'll just put my jogging trousers on, because that's what's happening right now. Is I'll put my jogging trousers on and then I'll get myself down the stairs and walk out the door. And that's how I did my run this morning. Present, seeing the constant dragging me off to the future where I lose my energy and get nothing done. And instead of thinking, I'm going to go for a run, I'm going to do 4 miles. No, just put your jogging trousers on. Start at the beginning with a really simple step of getting present. And then the next step was to get myself out the door on the street. And then the next step was to get myself in a jogging pace. And it's about taking really simple steps. And if you go off in thinking, that's perfectly fine. Sometimes I love thinking. I love going off in my daydreams. But I actually know that's what I'm doing, and realizing at any point I can choose to come back to the moment. Yeah. And some people, coming back to the moment, getting present, people say, well, I can't do that. My mind's far too busy. And yes, I can teach you mind calm. And I'm really sorry, Sandy, but there is somebody else who also has a wonderful reality check game, and his name is Winnie the Pooh. So for anybody who doesn't want to go into spiritual teachings or meditation and things like that, you've got some fun, cartoony stuff. Winnie the Pooh in the Christopher Robin film does a game called Say What You See. And when you can feel yourself getting pulled into the future and losing your energy, say what you see. I can see a tree, I can see grass, I can see a flower, I can see. Say what you see. Come really present. And another, if I can just go into another thing that I'll bring in. So I think I can practice present moments, and I do. And I really every day practice my meditation technique. If I don't, I'm so scattered. So every morning I'll do my meditation, every night I do my meditation, and I do it anywhere in the middle. But I'm actually also at the moment a carer for somebody with memory loss, absolutely no memory recall. And they are staying with me at the moment, and we go for daily walks. And I thought I knew my town. I walk along, that's nice, I'm very present. But when somebody has no memory, they are so present. Because every moment's a brand new moment. It's exciting, it's glorious, they see things. You can walk the same path 3 times in the same 5 minutes, and they are so present. It's wonderful teachings to be with somebody who, to be able to have this at the moment and really understand present moments. So just play with it. Just keep bringing yourself back with the simplest steps.
I noticed very much for our honeymoon, we spent 6 weeks in New Zealand and Australia, and we did the whole camper van thing, and we traveled around, and of course everything is new. So every day you're really present. And then I came back home and it's like, oh, it's the same old. And you shut down. And I took so much away from that experience that actually I need to engage with my day-to-day life with the same kind of attentiveness as I do when I'm somewhere new. Give it the same amount of attention, the same amount of fullness. And we need to talk a little bit about going into the past and how that can stop us from experiencing peace. And very much for me, when we go into the past, it's about like playing old memories, old experiences over and over again, wishing they were different. But there is there is no past experience, there is only now. Do you want to talk a little bit about the impact of sort of drifting off into historic sort of experiences and what that does to our body?
Oh my goodness, yes. So the past is, there are, I don't know how many billions of people on the planet, but we all have come from a different learning. So even identical twins, born as identical twins, will have different learnings, because one will fall off his bike one day and the other won't. So then one will start developing a fear about going down a hill too fast. And then they go to school and they have, you know, different friends, different experiences. So at that point, we start to have different pasts. So every single person on this planet comes from a different learning in their past. And I very much saw this in the police. So in the police, you'd have an incident happen. And you would have to go and take a statement of 10 people. And it's exactly the same incident that happened, but every statement will be different. So if somebody visualizes, I don't know, for example, a thief has got to be 6'4" and big and muscly, that's what they'll put. But actually the thief was 5' nothing and very skinny, but their impression in learnings and the films they've watched and things that have happened in their past means that the only people who rob people are great big muscly people, for example. So every single, those 10 people would all give a different version of events depending on what's happened in their past. And that's what we all do. We all bring our past into the present. And that's really not a problem. It's not a problem at all. That's what our past is for. It's a learning tool. But it's actually seeing when you're present. The mind loves to dig in the past. It loves it. It's like this naughty puppy that wants your attention all the time. Now, if I can keep getting you in the past, I've got your attention. And because the mind doesn't know the present moment, because we can only experience the present moment, it goes in the past and then it feels it's losing its grip on you because you're going in your present moment. So it tries to whisk through the present moment to take you into the future. So it's trying to take that learning from the past and take it into the future. But actually, we're always creating from the present moment. So actually, when this past comes to the present, it's at that moment you have a choice. Do I want to allow that to create my next moment? Or actually, do I want to go, oh yeah, I've seen that, but actually, I don't want to feel that anymore. So one quick way I can actually get this is maybe play a gratitude game. Thank you so much for my lovely cup of tea this morning. I loved my cup of tea. The next moment will be a lovely moment. You know, gratitude doesn't have to be a big thing. It can just be the simple things. Thank you for my cup of tea. Thank you for whatever's simple in your house. And that can change the moment. We don't have to bring our past. It doesn't have to influence what's going to happen in the future.
I love what you described yesterday, which is that every item that we look at has like a past connected to it.
Oh, absolutely. We are taught from the beginning. How would we know what a cup is unless somebody had told us what a cup is? You know, it could be, if you gave a cup to somebody who had no idea, they might think it's what you put flowers in, or they might turn it upside down and pop an object on it. You know, it's there's a first lesson in the Course of Miracles. You know, nothing has in, everything I see is there's, oh, I'm having a complete blank. nothing I see means anything. And it really doesn't, because everything you see simply has the meaning you choose to place on it. And that's why one person will love something and somebody else doesn't love it. And that's perfectly fine. And that's, I think the best thing is that there's no right or wrong. It's just seeing that actually everything comes from your past learning and you have a choice. And that's the beautiful thing when we start to see our thoughts, is we have a choice in every moment. And every moment's a brand new moment. So how exciting is that, that we can make the next moment a brand new moment? We don't have to bring our past in to us. It's only our thoughts about the past that's hurting us. The past is gone, it's finished. It's when we go back and think about it. And sometimes some terrible things that have happened in the past has actually woken us up to actually finding a different way in life. And we would never have found that way had that thing happened to us. So although it was terrible and awful at the time, it actually kicked us into finding a different way, a different solution, or maybe being more compassionate in that area in life.
Yeah, I completely agree. And everything, you have the opportunity to make everything into a learning experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's that wonderful study, isn't there, the Harvard University, that we spend 47% of our day, or approximately, in thinking. And it's absolutely true. You know, we do spend a lot of day thinking, which again isn't a bad thing. We need to think. We need to think to survive. You know, we're a body. We have certain needs in the world. So thinking is actually very useful. It's about seeing our thoughts. But that means that's half of our day, half of our week, half of our year, half of our life lost in our thoughts. You know, who's ever driven anywhere and then got there and gone, oh my God, how did we get here? We've all done that. You know, it's completely lost in our thoughts, missing the moment, missing everything that's going on along the journey.
When you do notice, when you stop and you are in the present, it's magical, isn't it?
Absolutely.
The feeling, the experience of that. I put a post up in the Peace Project recently about peace is the reward.
Yeah.
And it really is, that it's worth pursuing it. There's value in investing your time and effort and going on courses or getting yourself a teacher or doing whatever it is that you need to do to find the present moment. It's worth it because the stress just dissolves. You don't take stress forwards with you. Your body starts to heal. It feels better. Your relationships improve. You sleep better. All sorts of different benefits from being peaceful. So it's actually worth prioritizing it.
It is. And what we don't realize is sometimes we're there and we're like, well, it always happens for the other person, you know, it always, whatever. And we're so caught up in this thought. So just for example, I don't know, you're looking for a job. This is just an example. You're looking for a job. Well, I want a job. I need a job, you know, wherever. And you're so caught up in your thoughts and you stomp down the high street and you're caught up in your thinking about everyone else has got a job and I haven't and I've got no money. And there's a big poster on the door saying, wanted, paying £100 an hour for, I don't know, film extras. And you're so busy caught in your thoughts, you walk straight past it. You missed it. The universe provided you that opportunity and you're so caught up, you missed it. And we've all been there.
Yeah, or that, you know, your future husband or wife, or, you know, an amazing job. Anthony Robbins used to talk about, you walk past £1 million idea every single day.
Yes.
But same thing. And yeah, you're spot on. And of course, when you do live in the present moment, suddenly you get this incredible synchronicity. So you might be frustrated that something hasn't happened. And then in hindsight, which is an exact science, you look back and you realized, actually, I needed that delay because that's when this happened, or I met this person. So when you start to rest in the present moment, let go of your idea of how you think life should look. And the opportunity with this whole corona situation is we can do this too. If we can let go and trust that actually maybe, just maybe, we are actually exactly where we're meant to be, doing exactly what we're meant to be doing, and this is taking us in the direction that is actually most beneficial for us as a planet, as a species, because we don't know yet. We can't jump to a future point to know what the outcome of this is. You just let go of all that thinking around what is going on right now, and you just rest back, you start to trust, and you surrender that actually life has got your back.
And it really, really has. And I've had the best times I've had in my life is when I've totally surrendered and let go. So there have been times that I have had when we were traveling. I had no money, I had no job. I'm lucky my husband has a pension, but it's not big enough to support us on a big lifestyle. And it was in those moments when I was totally skint and I had nothing that I went on 4 horse safaris. They're worth about £4,000 each. I went on, I had the most amazing time of my life during that time because I let go of the needs to have. And I've really learned that through my life. It happened, I didn't realize how present moment I used to be. And a lot of, sort of when you're a teenager and things, you don't worry about things so much. You just go, I went to France, I got a horse. I didn't even think about it. I just rang my mum, Mum bought a horse, can you sell my car? And, you know, and just came back, got a job. Got on the airline. Nobody got on the airline at Birmingham at the time. Got in the police within 4 months. Nobody did. It took 18 months usually to get in. It just happened because I never had a thought that I wouldn't. And then as I got older, for some reason, fear creeps in. And then you start, well, what if, what if? And then, I sort of, and the fear, you get more fearful, I think, as you get older, because you think more, because you've got all this past learning piling up that you can refer back to. And, I'll tell you a little thing, and people actually like this. I was on an aeroplane once and watched a film called Memory Hackers. And by chance I watched it. It was a documentary, and they spoke about our past, and they said we all see our past as a library book. So when we go into the past to think about something, we go to the library, we pull out a library book, we have a little read about our past and we pop the library book back. But actually what it is, it's software like a computer. So every time you get your library book out and look at your past, what happened in your past, you're putting your current day's thinking on it. And it changes it, because now you've got different learnings to what you had 10, 20 years ago. You're thinking differently. You put a different perspective on it. You've changed the software. So that book goes back to the past is never quite how you thought it. And that's why it's so important to get present, because nothing is true. Nothing is true except the still silent space of the present moment.
So talking of that, do you have a little technique or tip or something that you would share with people? So we talked about, just noticing the present, the Winnie the Pooh game. What can you see? What do you notice? You've got another little tip or technique that you could share with people that will take home?
One of the games that I absolutely love, and you know this game well, is called the Notice the Now Space game. And, or Notice the Space Now. Game, I find it very beneficial because we spend a lot of our time focusing on the content in life, and everything in this world comes and goes. Every object, everything is coming and going in this world. And so the only thing that is permanent is space, but we never notice it. Our rooms are cluttered full of our stuff, but actually there's more space in a room than there is stuff, but we never focus on it. So let's just all play a little game together just now. And I just wanted you sitting there, just breathing nicely. I just want to notice you've got a left shoulder. You don't have to do anything with it. Just notice it's there. And now notice you've got a right foot. And just now take your attention to the top of your head. And now just start to notice the space between you and I, or between you and the computer screen. Just notice the space between you and the computer screen. And now notice the space that's around the computer screen. And now start to notice the space that's in the entire room. And just give me a word that just describes your inner experience right now. Maybe still, expansive. What's yours, Becky?
Expansive. Well, I'm outside, so the space in my room is infinite.
Yeah. And I love that game. So if anybody wants to type in the bottom if they experienced, what they experienced, and it's a great game to play. And I play that when I'm driving and I'm up somebody's bum going, hurry up. I'm trying, Jose, what are you doing? Back off. Notice the space between you and the car in front. And I go, oh yeah, because it's not going to change anything. I can't pass them. So start to notice the space. I start to know if you don't like somebody at work, instead of taking all your attention on them, start to notice the space that's between you and them. There's far more space between you and them than there is actually of them.
So we're getting some words come in. Claire says soft. Sandy said stillness. Mina said stillness. Marion says lightness. These are nice experiences, right?
Yeah, and it's really useful when you want to get out of this world, when you want to get out of thinking of the world, start to notice the space. And that's a really useful game for people with depression. So actually, if you are feeling really sad and you suffer with depression, a lot of it's to do with our past learning, and our past learning is to do with content in the world. It's to do with things that are happening in the world. Start to notice the space. You don't have to notice the world then, just notice the space, and you'll see how still and expansive it is.
And nothing needs to change. That's the wonderful thing, is life can still be life, but your inner experience, you reconnect, because that stillness is always there, that peace, that calm, the relaxation. We've got some more words coming in. That's always been there. We've had to take our attention away from that to put it on the stuff to then feel stressed. So all we're doing is just putting our attention back on who we already are.
Yeah, and who we really are is still silent spaciousness. And then I have a personality called Josie, and Josie comes from everything I've learnt in life. And I have red hair, so I have to work really hard at being present, not being a fiery chestnut, as we say in the horse world. So yeah, so it's actually realizing we are all still silent space. And then we have our lovely personalities that come on top of it, which is why we love each other. But we can access this still silent space in each of us every moment. And as a complementary therapist, when anybody lies on my couch and comes for therapy, anybody comes in my room and asks for help, I don't see anybody as anything wrong with anyone. I actually connect in with their still silent space, the perfection of who they really are. And then we work from that moment, because there is nothing wrong with any of us when we focus back on our truth, still silent space. And when we really focus on our truth, that's when we can listen to what's going on in the world, because we can have choices and no, none of it's true. It's all coming from a perspective. Just come back to who we are. And when we do, that gives us a space for the intuition. This is really important. Sorry, just to finish on. If you have a problem and you have something going on in your life, I don't know how to deal with this. Listening to the chaos outside of you won't help. Ask the question, breathe. If you use breathing techniques, you use meditation, use what works for you, come back and the answer will appear. It may appear in a thought, it may appear on a poster on the wall, it may appear through a phone call. Just, that's where the answers are, in the still silent space. They're not in the mind.
Beautiful. And I think it's lovely to remember that we're still silent space and everyone is still silent space. So there's someone that is getting on your nerves right now, just see the stillness in them.
And also, I'd like to bring in, if you are worried about somebody, we can't see our family at this moment. You know, we do have worries about them. If you have somebody who's ill, who's in hospital, and you feel so out of control, I can't do anything, the one thing you can do is see the still silent space in them. There's a ripple effect. There's scientific studies on this. You can go on Google and have a look. There is a ripple effect of our thoughts and going outwards. Seeing that still silent space in that person will reach them. It will help them to heal. And if you don't know how to do that, I love doing it by sending them a color. I'll send a color to somebody. I'll see them with a lovely, loving color around them. And then in my mind, I've done something. And I've connected to the still silent space that they truly are. And it will be felt because there's a ripple effect. And you've done something. And you can let that thought go now. So as well as working with people who you may have issues with, it really helps to work with people who are not well or you can't connect with. See them as a bright shining light or still silent space or a color. It's a beautiful thing to do. Try it, play with it. That's how I do it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, just play with it.
So coming back to our title, which is practicing peaceful presence, it is a practice, isn't it? It's something that you choose to do every day. And I try and challenge myself to do a little better every day than I did the day before.
Absolutely, it is a practice. And I see meditation, a lot of people are like, oh, meditation, you know, it's that thing. No, it's like going to the gym. You go to the gym to get your body able to do something. Meditation, you're not going to go to the gym and lift a 50-kilo weight straight away. So don't think, oh, I can leave this and go straight away and just get peace. Yes, you absolutely can. But be really kind on yourself and do little bits of practice. So even if your meditation technique starts off with 1 minute in the morning, make it a habit. The mind loves habits. So make it 1 minute of just, even if it's a gratitude thought, and then start 2 gratitude thoughts, 3 gratitude thoughts. Even better, go and learn Mind Calm. We are global. Mind Calm coaches are global. We are all over the world teaching Mind Calm to people. It is one of the simplest and most amazing meditation techniques that I've ever known. Thank you, Sandy Newbegin, for this. So we are everywhere teaching it. We teach it online. We teach it, you know, in groups. So please contact myself or Becky or Sandy Newbegin if you'd like to know more about it. And if you're not into meditation, there's loads of gratitude games. Watch Christopher Robin, the toe of Winnie the Pooh. You know, there's loads of techniques out there for everybody, but practice it, be kind on yourself, and just start with 1 minute. 1 minute will lead to 2, will lead to 3.
Yeah. Cool. Well, it's been such a delight to talk to you this morning, Josie, and hear your thoughts, because I actually never had you talk me through Notice and our space game, so that was fun. If you're watching this live or watching the replay, please put a comment in the comments box, your take home from this session. What is it that you've got from today? And my chat with Josie that you'll be taking away and either trying or playing with. And if I can get you to just sort of check in with some of those comments, Josie, in case anyone's got questions.
I'd love to know how other people get present. If you don't go through meditation, how do you do it? I'd love to know. It's so helpful to help people. If and how you enjoy getting present. What's your favorite way?
Yeah, tips and tools. All right. Well, I want to stay on the line, Josie. But I want to wish everyone a wonderful day and enjoy. And thank you very much for watching and playing along. We'll speak soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. She says, desperately trying to find the button to end the session, which I can't find. We're so professional here. Right.
And you're doing it